The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. We'd also like to welcome our audience tuning in on Fox Soccer Plus, as well as KVCR PBS. Good evening, folks. Happy Thursday. My name's Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, alongside my broadcast partner, Artie Kyrell, and we welcome you to the 60th rendition of the SoCal Showdown between the San Diego Sockers and the Empire Strykers. This is the fourth of 6 meetings between these two teams this season, and the second one under the bright lights of Toyota Arena. Last time these two teams squared off against one another, January the 3rd, a game in which the San Diego Sockers won at home. And in fact, Artie, that's the last time the Sockers had the opportunity to play at home. They've gone through a gauntlet playing their away games.
They have had a rough schedule playing going back east, and you know, they've got one more after this, so they've got here, and then they go to Baltimore. But at least last night, most of them, I'm sure, slept in their own beds, which is a bonus, same being so close.
And with that being said, we are underway. Live from Toyota Arena in Ontario, California, the Inland Empire of Southern California. You're watching Major Arena Soccer League. The Empire Strykers going with a new look to start today's game. In between the sticks, getting his first start of the season, his former MASL goalkeeper of the year, Clayson DeLima. The Strykers normally will utilize Brian Orozco. Orozco is on the bench for the Strykers as Marco Fabian goes over to Stinson, over to Munir Alami, and just like that, a quick counter by the Empire. Munir Alami in his sophomore season just registers lucky number 7. Empire goes up 1-0.
Excellent ball movement. Marco coming in with his head up. I was just looking down on the floor, noticing that Costa kind of started in the back there. Got caught, as you can see here, just kind of gets caught a little bit high. Simple movement. That's Justin again, not scoring the goals, but getting assists. I believe he got the assist in the last game on the first goal. So just very unselfish play from the Strykers, a great start.
And that's how quickly things can go in indoor soccer. Less than a minute into the game, Empire takes a quick lead. And the last time they managed to do that was a game against the Tacoma Stars a couple of weeks ago. In that game, Empire managed to put 10 in the back of the net, doing just what they did, scoring early in the first moments. But as we know historically between these two teams, history hasn't been on the side of the Empire Strykers against the San Diego Sockers. 10-49 historically, but what a quick statement to be made here on this Thursday night.
Just seems to be the mantra for the Sockers on this road trip. They're going to, they go down early. They went down 0-3 a couple of times on the trip already. So Strykers got to keep it going. Their Sockers are not going to settle down and give it away, so they got to keep working.
Ball comes off of the wall from the legendary San Diego Soccer, the captain, Craig Childs, that goes right to Clayson DeLima. Looking over on the turf. One thing and two big key omissions that you won't see today for San Diego: Cesar Cerda and Charlie Gonzalez. Charlie Gonzalez leading the team in goals, assists, and points, and Cerda being such an important part of this team. Those are two big absences for San Diego.
Big gaps to fill, especially with Cerda in the back there, just kind of the anchor defender and kind of the leader of the back. And you just saw a little dysfunctional organization on that goal.
Shot attempt by the Empire Strykers midfielder Justin Stinson. That comes off of the back of a former defender of the year from San Diego, and that is Drew Ruggles. Ruggles recently celebrated his 100th career MASL goal. That speaks volumes as he's a defender. And look at that smart move by Luis Morales, using the wall to his favor, but quickly gets into a scuffle on that far wall there with Justin Stinson. Anthony Powell, who had a hat trick recently over the weekend with the Empire Strykers, coming in from the Dallas Sidekicks. He heads down to the Pied Pony, replaced by Marco Fabian, Mexican international, legendary Marco Fabian. We welcome back onto the turf Luis Pee-wee Ortega. Pee-wee went out last season with an injury, and it's good to see him back, a veteran of this team. Heart and soul kind of a player for the Sockers as Fabian bashes it off the wall, trying to connect with number 24, Isak Somo. Strykers are the kind of team that are going to look to control possession. Ali Somo, the brother of Isak, off the boards. Munir Alami can't get the right end of his head on the ball. Alami, who scored the first goal of the game, who has 7 on the season, the Moroccan international, as we see Somo getting fouled.
I'm sure Pereira's just saying, weight room, son.
Nick Pereira, who continues to defy expectations, keeping Father Time at bay. Nick Pereira, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points for the San Diego Sockers. And just like a fine wine, the man ages gracefully.
He was pivotal on the road trip with goals at critical times.
Ball comes into our player of the game, Alan Perez. Alan Perez in his 5th season playing professional indoor soccer, product of UC Riverside. As he tries to find Fabian. Fabian one-on-one with Pardo, just misses. Perez battles to regain possession, but Ruggles gets it on the far end. Struggling to get the ball out of their defensive third is the Sockers, and that's going to be a foul. San Diego's are going to retain possession. Leo de Oliveira, quick play, trying to find Sebastian Mendez. The officials are thinking a little too froggy, jumping from one lily pad to the next in the speed that they did. Are going to have to restart that play again as Mendez goes over to Gabriel Costa. Costa recently played in Brazil for the Kings Cup for the USA team, and Gabriel Costa really did some things in that tournament. Makes his return to the Sockers. He's a former member of the Empire Strykers, where in his rookie season he was the newcomer of the year in the MASL. Robert Palmer, captain of the Empire Strykers, bats it off the wall. Mitchell Cardenas of San Diego regains possession. San Diego restarts their offense here. Ball comes in past that yellow line to Mendez. Mendez looking to go against Chavez. And that one takes an unspoken turn. Own goal comes off of the captain of the Empire Strykers, Robert Palmer. And one funny bounce goes fortunate for San Diego. They have knotted it up at 1.
That's just very unfortunate for Pardo, just in the right spot. Just, you know, that math equation just didn't work on that angle off his chest, and caught Clayson wrong-footed, and you go, unlucky. Well, I mean, great work, you know. I mean, Costa at the top, finding the right guy to get there to Mendez, and Mendez is playing the ball off that first board. You know, create danger. Things happen.
And in a game of momentum, that took a funny bounce to give the momentum to San Diego. Clayson de Lima, out of Brazil, been a longtime member of this franchise and this organization. Ball comes into Walter Diaz. Diaz, who over the weekend registered his first goals of the season, scored in back-to-back games for the Empire. A goal and an assist in St. Louis in that 4-2 loss. And then managed to find the back of the net in a really crucial game against the Tacoma Stars on the road. Strikers are 3-6 on the season, trying to climb out of the bottom part of the standings. Top 6 teams in the MASL go to the postseason. Polo Hernandez over to Powell. Powell on that left side, as he is sandwiched in between 2 Sockers players, opts to go back to the midfield. Steven Chavez in his first season here with the Empire, having come from the Texas Outlaws. Had a great game recently as well, and it's the new players that have really made a statement offensively for the Empire Strykers, a team that has relied heavily upon that man right there, Justin Stinson, who was 1 goal shy of the Golden Boot last year, fires it just above the crossbar. Justin Stinson out of St. Charles, Missouri. Taken away by Anthony Powell. Powell tries to bash it in. That one deflects. Recovered by Taylor Walter Bond, who, as of today, is the 2nd leading scorer for San Diego, having scored 5 goals this season. TWB having an outstanding year for San Diego. Under 9 to go here in this first quarter. Game knotted up 1-1. Polo Hernandez, who played collegiately in the Big West at UC Riverside, was part of the 2023 Big West regular season and tournament champion team that went to the NCAAs. Big tie-in with the Empire Strykers and the University of California at Riverside. Across many boards, front office, playing staff, broadcast crew. Fabian over to Alami. Alami, who just very rapidly picked up indoor soccer. Making that transition from the outdoor game to the indoor game takes time. But Munir Alami, in his sophomore season, currently leading the club with 7 goals after having scored in the opening minute of this match.
Yeah, he's done a really good job adapting, just getting the ball to his feet and playing. I mean, that's his strength, and it just kind of plays right into his natural instincts and abilities.
Isak Somo off the wall, broken up by Cardenas, picked up by Perez. Perez back over to Ali Somo. The Somo brothers coming in from upstate New York. Isak from Utica City. His brother Ali, a rookie this season. into Cuban international futsaler Walter Diaz. You will see possession heavily favor the Empire Strykers, as they like to utilize a system in which they incorporate their goalkeeper as a part of the offense. Be interesting to see how Clayson DeLima factors in, as that attempt goes right into the netting. It takes a deflection. And with that being said, we're going to head to immediate timeout here. 7 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. And so far, we've got a closely contested matchup between the Empire Strykers and the San Diego Sockers. It is 1-1. Back on the other side of this break, you are watching the Major Arena Soccer League. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. The lights are bright and the fans are loud. It's the Sockers taking on the Strykers. Stream it live on MASL Plus TV.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure to follow your favorite team to get instant updates on every game. If you're just joining us, score 1-1. Empire Strykers opened up their scoring account early off a brilliant counter. Marco Fabian, Justin Stinson, and Munir Alami, who scored his 7th goal. And the tiebreaker was credited to Sebastian Mendez, who bats it off the wall. There are no own goals technically in indoor soccer, so Sebastian Mendez is going to get the credit for the San Diego Sockers goal. Mendez, in his 2nd season playing in San Diego, has found himself a nice, comfortable home. Big part of San Diego's success these past couple of seasons. He's got 4 goals on the season now. Keep your eyes open for number 77 on San Diego, Nick Pereira. Nick Pereira was part of that University of California Santa Barbara team that ended up winning the College Cup several years ago. In fact, he was the most outstanding player in the College Cup. A lot of Big West talent here in the Major Arena Soccer League. Leo de Oliveira was a pass master in this league a couple of years ago. Costa, and he's going to draw a foul on Abdul Mansoure, 2 former teammates. Just to kind of finish that thought, Pass Master is an award given to the player in the league that finishes with the most assists. Just on that top of the box, Luis Morales going to get a quick start. Morales in 3 games has managed to find 4 goals and 1 assist. Came on late into the season. Another member of the Texas Outlaws. That Outlaws team a couple of years ago had a lot of young talent. Craig Childs, Mr. San Diego himself, bats it off the wall. That one takes a deflection. Poked away by Stinson. Stinson using the wall to his advantage. Mansoure tracking back. But Pacheco, Jesus Pacheco of Northridge, California, and a longtime member of the Empire Strykers / Ontario Fury organization, makes his return home to the Inland Empire. Ruggles to De Oliveira. I mean, just looking at that San Diego Sockers team, I mean, that's basically an all-star team.
Indeed. You know, you can see here they're trying to deny the target play, which was very effective last time San Diego played the Strykers. So San Diego's trying to find the answer to kind of get in deep, moving the ball around to find that free player.
And that goes right to Clayson DeLima. DeLima over to Palmer. Palmer, one of the best defenders in the Major Arena Soccer League. Ball comes in from Somo to Diaz. Diaz tries to find Stinson, spins past his defender, but kept on the farther side of the turf. Somo over to Stinson.
San Diego's perfectly content with just kind of playing above the yellow line here at the moment. You know, they're playing like a team that's been on the road for quite a bit.
Attempt by Diaz, punched away by Boris Pardo. The King of Queens making another incredible save. Pardo, just a longtime veteran of this sport and of this league. Just having one outstanding season.
Incredible season. He's been standing on his head.
Diaz's shot, and he scores it off of the restart. Walter Diaz, in his 3rd consecutive game, goes from turf to twine, and the Strykers take a 2-1 lead.
Just a slight disconnect, inattention, and found him there with that left foot. You gotta really dial in. I mean, Strykers is kind of taking the Sockers form they're using against him. Just kind of see here, he's just kind of scanning, looking for it. Little set. just half a step off and late to get there, and just kind of goes in. Pardo really didn't have a chance, just kind of roofed him.
And Walter Diaz has had success. Like last season in the 3 games that he played, scored 3 times, and a couple of those games were against San Diego. Here in his 3rd year out of Cuba, I mentioned his futsal background. Played for the Cuban national team, competed in the small-sided tournament TST. And, I mean, Artie, as the coach, Pereira shot saved by De Lima, headed back out of danger by Kudus Lawal in only his 2nd appearance, having recently signed as a free agent from the Milwaukee Wave. But, Coach, you've been around the game for a long time. Walter Diaz really cut his teeth on the small-sided game, playing futsal and going at the highest level, playing for the Cuban national team. Talk to us about the valuable experience that futsal has on some of the players that are competing here in indoor soccer.
Well, obviously, you can just kind of see his comfortableness on the ball, under pressure, taking players on. You know, at futsal, that's the money there. It's kind of a little heavier ball, a lot more technical play, a lot of organization, movements, angles, and, you know, he's picked up on that. He just kind of fits in right away.
Strykers with a couple valiant efforts there. Fabian and Mendez boxing out Chavez. 2 former teammates, by the way. Pardo out of Seton Hall University rolls it over to Cardenas.
Sox just having a difficult time with that repress. Once Empire loses the ball, they're gone, and they're finding the traps on the edge board and just creating big problems.
Look at the defense by Alami, absolutely picking Cardenas's pocket. Ball comes into Fabian. Fabian, in his 1st season, which was a couple of years ago here in the indoor game, managed to get the Golden Boot Award along with Kansas City Comets talisman Zach Reggett. We'll be seeing Zach and the KC Comets here on Sunday. Another historic franchise of the indoor game. Felipe Dutra on the turf. Dutra talking about how the respect and admiration that he gets from head coach Anu Obasi. These two had known each other playing over in the East Coast. Dutra was part of Obasi's $1 million winning team at TST at Newtown Pride. Dutra got the start today, and over the weekend, in absence of Robert Palmer, played some big minutes, making some big-time blocks, preventing extra goals from being scored down against St. Louis and over against Tacoma. So you see some fancy footwork by Diaz.
But you can just Walter feeling it, you know, the step overs. Just his Cristiano Ronaldo impression. But, I mean, he's just so confident on the ball, and that's just a direct reflection of how technical he is.
Technical, you know, indeed. And we talked to him a couple of weeks ago. We know that Cuba is a baseball-crazy nation, but clearly they've done some good things in the futsal world, because Diaz, now that he's healthy, has just been a joy to watch this season. Pardo goes deep into that corner, trying to find Pereira. The Iberian brick house is what we like to call him. Ball kept in play by Morales till de Oliveira, and that one's going to come off of Somo. And unfortunately for the fan, that's not a free souvenir. And shout out to that fan, by the way, for not walking away with that miter ball. We haven't seen that this season.
Have not. I've said it every broadcast. I'm looking forward to that, to see how it gets handled.
You can't encourage that type of behavior, Artie. Somebody at home is listening and thinking to themselves, maybe I should do that. De Oliveira.
Do not try this at home.
Indeed. Well, I mean, at home you could try. Don't try that in the arena. It's really what you want to say. Leo taken away by Somo. Somo and Mansoret, 2 of the fastest players you'll see in the game. Ruggles pushes Somo off the ball, tries to find Pereira on that left side. Dutra's there to close it out. And De Lima belts it past the midfield. Pacheco back over to Pardo.
Right now, Strykers are just struggling with the athleticism of the Strykers. But don't let them lull them to sleep. You know, San Diego's just going to keep grinding.
That's going to be a foul going against Robert Palmer, much to his dismay. Did not think that was a foul, and you don't get a lot of poultry in Toyota Arena, but the Boo Birds are flying.
You just got to love the Berto-Pereira battle there. It's been years in the making, and I can guarantee you Berto thinks he's never fouled Nick.
Talk about a decade. Shot, what a goal! Bottom right corner where the dust mites dwell. Luis Morales with an absolute rocket. Beats Clayson De Lima. 2-2 now the score.
I said it on the previous set piece for the Strykers, you know, just a slight disconnection in the set piece, and you just kind of see it here, the little gap, and then just caught Clayson there right on the elbow. It's just a tough place to make the save.
What an absolute bazooka of a leg. Morales in his 4th game this season with San Diego. Just registered his 5th goal.
Just laser accuracy that kid has.
Incredible talent. In his first season, really just took the league by storm, was the MASL newcomer of the year. He signed a 5-year deal recently to play with San Diego. As mentioned, Kings League, he's supposed to play in that. Was part of the United States national futsal team. As the whistle blows down on the turfs, Strykers with under a minute to go here in this first quarter. It's been an exciting one thus far, though, with both teams tying the game 2-2. 4 goals in the first quarter. If this quarter is any indication as to what we're going to see throughout the duration of this game, well, strap on that seatbelt. Always an exciting matchup between Empire and San Diego.
Just got to be really pleased with the responses that San Diego has had. Again, they've been on the road for a while, and to give up a goal and to come right back after. So it's, Coach Salvaggio's got to feel okay with that, given the fact of the way the Strykers have kind of pressed them.
Chavez looking for Polo Hernandez in that corner. Mitchell Cardenas closing in on him. Ali Somo, 15 seconds remaining. That one threads through the defense. Does not find itself on frame. 10 seconds. Battle near the Soccer's bench. That looks like it's going to be a foul on San Diego.
And here's where you got to dial in. I mean, the league's been super exciting this year with goals in the last 8 seconds on these set pieces and quarters, yeah?
We have seen the Strykers manage to thread through with even shorter time than this. Fabian, that comes off of the Soccer's wall. Powell, 2 seconds to go. Not sure he sees how much time's on the clock. Does not turn around in time to fire it off. And that's going to conclude the first quarter of tonight's game. We told you to expect a very close contested match, a grudge match between these two sides. And so far, over the first quarter, we are not disappointed. Hopefully you at home aren't disappointed. 2-2 the score. We're going to step aside for another break, and when we come back, start of the second quarter, don't you dare go anywhere. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golasso Network. Alex Bashchavansky and Phil Levanco are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Also, you're watching KVCR San Bernardino Riverside. And an extra special welcome to our audience tuning in on Fox Soccer Plus. We're moments away from the start of the second quarter. Artie, it's been a back-to-back game here. 2-2. The Empire Strykers got the scoring started 48 seconds in with a goal by Munir Alami. Sebastian Mendez with an answer. Walter Diaz puts Empire up. And then 2 minutes later, Luis Morales ties this game.
I think both coaches have to be somewhat happy with the performances, obviously, with 2-2. Strykers kind of, I thought, owned most of the quarter, but Soccer's just stayed composed and had those quick responses, or just responses. So 2-2 going in, I think, again, both teams are feeling pretty good.
Empire had 6 shots to San Diego's 4. So very close game. Diaz spun, but got tripped up there. Ball taken away by number 32, Adrian Reyes, a rookie this season for San Diego. And Reyes has made a quick statement in his appearances. Already 4 goals on the season. So a team that's got so much veteran talent on there, showing us some of that rookie standout talent that they possess on that roster.
Yeah, I mean, Phil's known for not being a rookie friendly, so it just says a lot about the player's ability to kind of come in and make a quick contribution.
Reyes out of San Diego, played with the Nomads Academy, an academy that you're very familiar with in your time coaching in this area.
Very much indeed.
As we hear a whistle, Servando Berna, official on the turf, blowing that whistle.
I have a couple of trophies with Nomads on it.
You do?
I do.
Care to explain? Enlighten us, Artie. For those that don't know, you truly are the man with the X's and O's. You not only were an assistant coach for the Empire Strykers, but you coached Division I at Cal Berkeley. You've been part of the United States Soccer Federation. Tell us a little bit of what you mean about that Nomads thing real quick.
No, I mean, just Nomads used to be one of the bigger youth tournaments and feeder tournaments around when Derek Armstrong was running the program. And just, taking teams and competing, it used to be one of the most well-attended international event, in Southern California. So Just good times, good memories. A lot of good players, many of which have kind of moved on and played at the next level. So great opportunity.
Moments ago, and this happened a little while ago, but you want to talk about the intestinal fortitude that Luis Morales had just a couple of seconds ago, going against 3 Empire Strykers players. He would end up getting dispossessed, but you want to talk about confidence? That's a young man who doesn't struggle for confidence.
None whatsoever. I mean, again, when you're so technical, it's just, speaking of technical.
What a pass from Craig Childs. Look, in this sport, there's a Mount Rushmore, and I've said it a couple of times throughout my career calling games here. Craig Childs absolutely belongs on that Mount Rushmore. The all-time leader in goals scored for San Diego Sockers, and this is an illustrious history. A team that dates back to 1978. Part of the NASL for a few years, then obviously taking indoor soccer by storm in lieu of the historic New York Arrows, who won the first 4 indoor soccer titles. Really, in the modern MISL era, the San Diego Sockers were the lords of indoors, 16-time champions. And for Craig Childs to have done what he did statistically with so many talented players featuring on this team and wearing that Sockers badge speaks volumes. A Stinson shot, that took a deflection off of Ruggles. Not sure if that was going to go on frame, but Ruggles making an outstanding block denying Stinson a very dangerous goal scorer.
Craig's a gentleman ambassador of the game. I had a great opportunity to have dinner with him at the Combine when I was first coaching here with the then Fury, and just, you know, got to meet him a little bit. He's that guy that you love to hate. You know, when he's on your team, he's great, but when you're playing against him, he's just a super competitor.
And the man's got 6 rings as a champion, 3-time MVP, 3-time Finals MVP. Been playing the indoor game 17 years. Out of San Diego State, taken away on the counter is San Diego. Leo de Oliveira's shot, even through our cups we heard what a rocket that was. Pereira tries to get cute, skirting that in. Look at the defense by Diaz, denying San Diego what should have been the go-ahead goal.
Just working hard. Last tidbit on Craig Childs, played for my buddy Lev Kirshner there at San Diego State.
Ruggles, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, recently celebrated his 100th goal. Over to Pereira. Pereira tried to find Estrella, taken away by Somo. Ali Somo against Pee-wee. And Ortega is there, making the defensive play. Walter Bond back onto the turf. Currently the second leading scorer for the Sockers. Playing that rugged defense against Alami, the Strykers' leading scorer. And all kinds of bodies in that corner. Chavez thought about pelting away. Wisely resets things. 4 minutes into the second quarter. Fabian's shot, that comes once again off of Ruggles. Alami, that one comes out of play. Munir Alami, who scored the first goal of the game here in his second year in the MASL. Finalist for Newcomer of the Year. That was an award given to the Baltimore Blast's Chad Porch. And Alami featured with the Moroccan U19 national team, as well as playing in the top flight in Morocco. 16 goals, 12 assists last year. Not a bad freshman year. Can't really say freshman, rookie year.
Top of the arc, Philly.
And explain that to our audience at home that's tuning in for the first time.
Well, delay of game, so if the defender purposefully plays the ball out of bounds under the yellow line, then it's a free kick at the top of the arc, which is a great advantage for obviously the attacking team. You've got numerical advantages on the edges because you've got 2 to 3 players in the wall, as you can see, so he's got a number of players to go at.
Pereira fires it, and that takes a deflection. Perez makes the block. And the Strykers like to utilize their platoon of goalkeepers. Clayson DeLima got the start in the first quarter. Brian Orozco now is in between the sticks, 4th year in the MASL, out of Guatemala City as well as Riverside. Brian Orozco, a fan favorite here in the Empire, and just an incredible young talent.
It's a little change from San Diego, pressing a little higher, forcing that long one. So they might be getting a little tired of Strykers having so much possession.
Pardo advances it over to Cardenas. Cardenas' header intended for Childs. But Steven Chavez is there to make the play. Chavez out of El Paso, Texas, Arlington High School, Hill College, as well as the University of Texas Tyler. Played with Villarreal in the TST tournament. 14 goals and 14 assists last year on an Outlaws team that struggled offensively. He was the shining star on that team. Diaz, who has a goal already, gets right by Costa, and he's going to draw a foul as he was sandwiched in between Mendez and Costa. You see Mendez with that display of sportsmanship, helping Diaz come up. As the official is going to call a mulligan on that restart. Yeah. It's a golf term for you folks at home.
I buy them in bulk at Costco, actually.
Polo back heels it to Diaz. We'll talk about golf, a sport that I've never worked so hard at, but have never managed to improve on. Stinson shot, and he scores! Justin, the stinger! Stinson, que golazo! Stinson with the go-ahead, Strykers lead.
But again, just a half step late by Mendez to come over on that double pinch at the edge and just allowed the goal to happen. And Justin's been looking for that angle or that window all year long. So a good hit for him. Great to recognize and excellent finish.
His 4th goal of the season, had over 30 last year. Last year was his best season offensively, as Pacheco's going to get called for a foul on Abdul Mansoureh. Dutra trying to play the restart really quickly. But this back and forth action making for a very juicy game of indoor soccer here on a Thursday.
Yeah, Strykers definitely want to run.
That's what they do best. They like to maintain that possession too. And with Orozco is the threat. Orozco has scored some bangers from right around that distance in midfield. So keep your eye on that man with the ball. Orozco's had a couple of goals last season.
And I would be, San Diego's also got to be aware of just that opposite angle when Brian's on it, not just to hit it. Got that guy sneaking in like Alami's goal on the first win.
And with Orozco acting offensively, look at the footwork by Somo, putting Pereira on skates off the wall. And Powell tried to skirt that past Pardo, but Pardo not to be denied as he gets his paws all over it.
Fortuitous little bounce hold there on the board. But take it.
De Oliveira is going to sit on it in the midfield. Tries to find Ruggles in on that left end. So it bounces right by the United Chiropractic Health Center banner. Shout out to Dr. Fantasia, by the way. That ball is loose. Picked up by Isak. Gets it past Mendez, and Perez. What an excellent pass, leading to a counterattack opportunity here for Empire. Somo picked up by Powell. Powell fires it. That takes a deflection. Chested, intercepted, ever so close. Powell goes down on the turf, and the official is going to blow the whistle. Anthony Powell quickly back up on his feet. As we know, player can't be down on the turf for too long, otherwise they're going to have to sit out for a little while. But then you can see him gingerly coming up. His nickname is El Leon, which means the lion. And he's been coming on strong, he's been coming on real strong aggressively this season. Strykers need his offense.
Yeah, I got a little nick from Ruggles, kind of both following through, foot to the kneecap.
Powell in his 8th season out of Fort Worth, Texas. Absolutely loving life here in California. Ortega over to Mendez. Mendez trying to sprint past Dutra. Dutra makes the play. Alami into Chavez. Chavez dancing past the midfield. He doesn't have too many options as it's only Alami. Wisely backtracks it over to Stinson. Stinson to Palmer. Palmer finds Stinson. Stinson trying to find another one. Stinson's the kind of player that can start the season quiet, but no surprise to find him in some games where he'll bag a hat trick and then he just won't stop scoring. Saw that a couple seasons ago at Baltimore where he blasted himself a hat trick. You see what I did there? Baltimore blasted. For those that don't know, the Baltimore team is known as the Blast, another historic franchise in the beautiful game of indoor soccer.
I missed that, sorry. I was playing songs on my guitar.
Excellent play. As that one is in the box. Diaz tried to make something happen. Diaz is just playing with a whole new sense of confidence that I haven't seen from him in seasons past. But then again, he hasn't had a full, healthy season. No, in fact, really until now.
He's growing into this game and needing the MASL very rapidly. You can just see the confidence. And with that left peg, it's just kind of wicked guys, They're not as familiar defending the left footers as they are the right footers. Not to take anything away from him.
Oh, not at all. Alami sandwiched in between several players. Orozco, that one flies off the wall. Picked right back up. See, Jose Bebe Gonzalez, the brother of Charlie Gonzalez. Bebe also, that's his nickname. Jose also a longtime member of the Ontario Fury, which is what the Empire Strykers were once known as. Ali Somo trying to get past De Oliveira over to Alami. And the official's going to blow the whistle. That's a foul against the Sockers. De Oliveira adamant about how that shouldn't have been a foul called. 5:33 remaining here in the half. We've had 5 goals here thus far. Empire leading San Diego by a score of 3. If at home you're wondering why the Empire, well, they play out of Ontario, which is the Inland Empire of Southern California. Very big region. Toyota Arena here, the home of the Empire Strykers. Pass into Walter Bond. Walter Bond over to Pereira. Talk about some veteran players. Pass into Cardenas. Cardenas trying to find Walter Bond. And Kudus Lawal is going to be called for the foul.
No. Foul on Bond.
Oh, I stand corrected. Yeah, because if it would have been a foul on the wall in the box, now we're looking at a whole different set of circumstances.
Yeah, you know, I mean, just great lesson. Get to the spot, hold the spot. You know, Bond tried to fight through it. I don't know if this is a good challenge for Phil. Elbow
Before
breaks.
the immediate timeout, San Diego challenged that the foul was incorrectly called. After review, that challenge was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
There is a foul on number 23 for San Diego. The restart will be to the goalkeeper for Empire.
So again, you know, each player has the opportunity to get to the spot, and it's actually where outside we talked about winning headers. You got to get to the spot and win the spot, especially when you have a strength or height advantage. And here, clearly, Taylor Walter Bond's a body, and he would have had a situation to score, but the striker player had clear path to the ball, set the position, hit the spot, and Bond had to work through him to get to the ball, and resulted in the foul. So once again, I think second time in history, I'm agreeing with the officials.
Oh, wow, second time in history. That's huge coming from you, Coach, like 40-plus years of experience. Now, one other question and one other thing I want you to mention to the audience tuning into this broadcast. Being that the challenge was unsuccessful, what does that mean for San Diego's challenges going forward for the rest of this game?
Correct. They no longer have the challenge. So it's a calculated risk. I don't know if I would have taken that if I was Coach Silvazio, but, it was a critical moment for sure.
Well, had that challenge been successful, as Cardenas blasts that over the penalty box, then Taylor Walter Bond with a foul in the box would have had that one-on-one opportunity against Brian Orozco. But that still would have only led to a tie, 3-3. So at that point, with still so much time remaining, San Diego now no longer has any challenge flags.
Well, I think maybe Coach Silvazio just saw him reaching out. Like I said, anytime that shoulder, that elbow breaks the plane or breaks that angle, that bent, the 45-degree angle, then that could be construed as pushing.
Mansoret tries to fire it, saved by Pardo. And if I had a nickel for every time I've said saved by Pardo in my life, I would be able to take my wife out to a nice expensive dinner in Los Angeles, which, is a couple $100 right there. A really good dinner at a nice place, probably closer to 1,000. And I'm not exaggerating either.
Yeah, you'd have that covered over this previous road trip. He was on his head. It was amazing. Just amazing saves he was making.
Oh, absolutely.
I rewatched the Baltimore game today, and it was nuts.
Pardo recently nominated in that MASL Team of the Week. Pardo just one of the best keepers you'll see in this game. Out of Seton Hall University. He and I have a special bond, both being kids from Queens, as we have a top-of-the-arc restart there. Is a very scary and dangerous man from San Diego in that Childs. Or Morales. Childs fires it. That was close. Almost goes upper corner. And Childs, in his final season, playing here indoor, just an intelligent player. He scores quite frequently off of those set pieces. Empire was lucky that the captain didn't have the precision on that attempt. Powell finds Palmer. Palmer battling with Morales. Morales with his hands all over him. Servando Berna, the official, not blowing any whistle as Palmer hit the deck. He's back on his feet. And we know if Palmer's not happy about something, we're going to see it. So he didn't make any communications there. As Orozco fires it, he comes close. As he clanks it off the bottom left post. Orozco's going to quickly track back Pereira looked up, saw an empty net, but he was 3/4 length of the field from firing that off. We've seen shots like that in the past. Seen players like David Ortiz, for example, a former teammate of Morales and Mendez, fire from that distance successfully. Pacheco to De Oliveira, tries to find Childs. Childs with that quick one-touch pass to Pacheco, over to Mendez. Approaching that 3-minute mark here in the second quarter. Strykers still lead the Sockers by a score of 3-2. Back heel from Mendez to Pacheco. He's got Chavez marking him. Ops to restart. Ball comes into Ruggles. Ruggles to his left. Leo. There's any man that can thread through the seams of the defense, it's that one. De Oliveira is absolutely a thorn in the side of the Strykers. Last time, Mendez's shot, bottom right corner. Sebastian Mendez with the equalizer. It is now 3-3.
That was kind of pretty to watch. Actually, I was having a flashback. I was in a daze because it was kind of reminding me of the Harlem Globetrotters. We right here, they're just kind of whizzing it around, kind of cutting through and just waiting for that proper angle just to slice in top of the arc for someone who could hit it. Just kind of going back and forth right there. That was surreal for me.
It's already 2 goals in the first half by Sebastian Mendez. He's in his 5th year in the MASL, his 2nd year with San Diego. Member of the United States National Futsal and U.S. Arena team. Wow, I mean, just the goal that he just scored right there. I mean, he only had 14 last season, but at this point, it's already up to 5. A third away into the season, already tracking with those numbers.
I mean, you were talking about Ortiz earlier. You know, when he and Ortiz and Mendez were on the same team, it was dueling pistols, right? Those guys were just shooting from everywhere and just banging it home. I remember.
That Outlaws team was fantastic. A bunch of gunslingers. They had the moms, the Morales, Ortiz, and Mendez connection.
Correct.
They had George De Leon, who's also a member now of the Empire Strykers. Not there. Ortega with a counter. He's got Pereira to his left. And that takes a bounce, a fortuitous bounce for the Empire Strykers, because had Pereira had his feet on it, you're looking at goal number 4 for San Diego. Pereira's not going to miss from that distance. Taken away by San Diego. The Iberian Brick House once again has possession. Clever pass into Mendez. Mendez kick save by Orozco. Orozco making a clutch save. 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. San Diego's got the momentum, having scored the last goal. Pereira, with his keister on the ground, somehow kicks it about and keeps it in possession.
Who put cardboard on the carpet?
That's a veteran play made by a very cerebral athlete. And Stinson makes the defensive play. Orozco has it, telling Chavez to go back. Rolls it in to Hernandez, under a minute to go. Orozco is going to quickly shift up. Diaz has it. Back over to Chavez. What a statement would it be for any of these teams to go into the locker room with the go-ahead goal. Chavez over to Palmer. Robert Palmer out of Kingston, Jamaica. Back over to Chavez with Mendez in front of him. Going across the turf into Diaz. Diaz trying to find some space. Smart pass to Palmer. 23 seconds remaining. Over to Fabian, the Mexican sensation and gold medalist, might I add. 2012 London Games with Mexico beating Brazil. Diaz. 9 seconds to go. Over to Chavez. Strykers gonna have to fire one off. Fabian with 2 seconds. Fabian's gonna fire it off the wall. Not enough time to even make an attempt to get one past Boris Pardo. But what a first half we've seen between these two teams, these two opponents. The 60th edition of the SoCal Showdown has proven to be highly entertaining here 2 quarters in.
It's been fantastic, 3-3.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. MASL TV, subscribe today on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more.
Loma Linda University Health and the Inland Empire Strykers have come together to support our community with the shared focus on health and fitness. The partnership reinforces both organizations' commitment to helping families thrive on and off the field. Together, we aim to build a stronger, healthier future for our Inland Empire region. MGR Real Estate and MGR Property Management, Southern California's largest independent family-owned real estate company, providing commercial sales and leasing, residential sales and leasing, residential and commercial property management, and homeowner association management. MGR Real Estate Services, the proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers.
Already 3-3 in the first half. The Empire Strykers had 13 shots. San Diego had 8. For the Empire, opening up the scoring, Munir Olami, 48 seconds in. Sebastian Mendez will get the equalizer for San Diego, followed by Walter Diaz of Empire Strykers, then Luis Morales for San Diego. That had us 2-2 going into the second quarter. And then at the 5:27 mark, Justin Stinson would register a goal, followed by Sebastian Mendez towards the end of the first half, and that puts us at our scoreline of 3-3 with Justin Stinson, by the way, now second all-time in franchise points for the Empire Strykers, passing Charlie Gonzalez, who is now a member of the San Diego Sockers, and he's got Frank Tayu, the legendary king himself, in sight. Frank Tayu with 185 career franchise points. If Justin Stinson can find a little bit of that magic he had last season, he could end this year as the Empire's all-time leader in points, which is huge, all things considered.
Yeah, great accomplishment for Justin. And he hasn't even got unloaded yet. I mean, he goes on those runs that he can catch that number fairly quickly.
Yeah, I feel like he's just getting warmed up as Nick Pereira puts it into play, and we are underway live under the bright lights at Toyota Arena here in Ontario, California. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League. Dutra belts that one into the air. De Oliveira tried to find Walter Bond. Walter Bond with 5 goals this season, having a great year offensively for San Diego. Cardenas diverts it over to the Empire's Steven Chavez. Over to Stinson. Stinson with 1 goal, feeling the confidence. Wearing that number 10 out of St. Charles, Missouri. Competed in his youth with the West Ham Youth Academy. And for those that follow the international game, West Ham's Youth Academy has fielded some incredible players, and Justin Stinson has had the opportunity to train with them, and nice 180-degree moment for him is at TST, featured with West Ham, as Leo de Oliveira heads it back into his keeper, Boris Pardo. Minute gone by already here at Toyota Arena. This is the only game in the Major Arena Soccer League tonight, here on this thirsty Thursday. We're going to take you to the weekend where we're going to have tons of action. That one comes right off of the Empire Strykers dasher board. Look at the footwork by Leo, getting that out of danger. Pass comes into Ruggles, back over to Leo. He's being pressured by Hernandez. Ortega tried to get that one past Isak Somo. Isak not to be fooled. Ortega making his first return this season after sustaining an injury at the end of towards the mid-season of last year. What were you going to say, Artie? Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I was just going to say Pee Wee wasn't fooled either. I mean, it's nice, good to see him out there.
Olami, 1 goal already, goes back towards the midfield. And now the Strykers are going to look to stretch out the defense. Giles on the turf for San Diego, doing his farewell tour all across these arenas. And if you haven't had a chance to see Craig Giles play in person, I highly recommend it. Olami decides to go over to Ali Somo. Ali trying to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Almost does. Just missed it. A nose hair to the left. His brother Isak has it. Under duress by Andrew Estrella and taken away by Oliveira. Fabian has it. Marco Fabian not a factor into today's game.
Just those instant reactions from the Strykers giving Sockers some trouble to exit that initial pressure. So both teams seem to be dumping it early on, so it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. And then Sockers are sitting down, and now they're going to allow some possession, but not a lot of target play at the moment.
Marco Fabian, who coming into the season, has 61 career goals. A dangerous player. Had himself a heck of an outdoor career, by the way, as that pass comes into Orozco. Orozco fires it off of the upper left part of the post. He is well outside of his position. That one's going so close as Orozco gets back. And that is the live by the sword, die by the sword mentality that sometimes the Strikers utilize. Orozco is a threat and a good goal-scoring threat, but when he finds himself so far outside of the box, there are players in this league that can make Empire pay. And San Diego has been one of those teams, as Somo's shot just misses narrowly. The Strikers within a couple of nose and ear hairs away from going from turf to twine.
That was just another example, Philly, of just the instant reaction defensively from the Strikers, because that put just enough pressure on him to hit that ball offline.
Perez goes over to Somo. As we mentioned, Ali, a rookie in this league. Look at him get by Costa. And he scores! Near post, Ali Somo with an emphatic goal, beating Boris. Pardo, Strikers up 4-3.
Just looking for that isolation, you just saw it. I mean, it was a great matchup for Empire Strykers. You know, Gabriel Costa, a great attacking player, but has had a couple of miscues defensively tonight. You just saw him just kind of use his pace and get by him, and you never want a back foot stab as a defender, and that's what he did. And a great finish. I mean, it was just razor thin window to hit it. He never stabbed.
You know, for a rookie, I mean, that was a veteran kind of play. I would have expected him to go far post. He goes near post and absolutely beats Pardo. In only his 8th game this season, Ali has registered his 4th goal of the season. And once again, the Strikers are on the attack. Mansoret fires it, blasts it off the wall. The ricochet comes into the wall, making his 2nd appearance for Empire. And he's going to go back to Dutra.
You know what I noticed about the Somo brothers, they just kind of go at what their strength is. You know, he was taking Boris on straight up. This is what I have.
Isak fires it, and that one goes in and the net. That's going to be a goalkeeper restart for San Diego. Pass comes in to De Oliveira, over to Pardo. Mansoret coming through. That goes into Estrella, number 36, in his rookie campaign for San Diego, as he takes down another rookie, in that of Felipe Dutra. 9:54 to go. And as the tail is gone, Empire has taken a 1-goal lead, only to have an answer back really quickly from San Diego. Cardenas over to Pacheco. That one comes off the wall. Estrella taken away by Diaz. Diaz already with a goal today, having scored in 3 consecutive games for Empire. Pass goes into Chavez. That's going to give the players and the broadcasters a bit of a break here.
Again, just looking for that isolation. He's going to go at him.
Look at those fancy flashes of footwork by Walter Diaz. We always credit Justin Stinson for being one of the best dribblers in this league, but we might have an emerging talent here in that of Walter Diaz. That one comes in. Pardo gets his paws on it. Cheeky little chip.
Almost dipped him.
Sockers regained possession. Pacheco battling against his former teammate Palmer. That one still stays on this side of the turf as it goes right over to Pardo. Mansoret tried to make the play. Pardo rolls it into Leo as Palmer tried to go in there and cause some chaos. The battle on the boards, and Leo's going to retreat and go over to Ruggles. Ruggles connects with Ortega. Advances it up. Promising opportunity here for San Diego. Still a promising opportunity. That one ding-dong, ring-a-ling-a-lings. Close call. Adrian Reyes denied his 5th goal of the season. 5 games, could have been his 5th goal. Averaging a point a game. You'd see here, I mean, missing players of the likes of Charlie Gonzalez and Cesar Cerda. What a different contest this could have been. But
you play with the players you have.
That's exactly right. Chavez over to Stinson. Stinson, normally known for his exquisite hair game, started the season off with a beautiful luscious head of blue hair, decided to go shorter on his hair. For broadcasters being as high in the booth as we are, sometimes having a player with blue hair makes it easy to identify. As Walter Bond goes down to the deck, he's limping off. Taylor Walter Bond, as tough as it gets in this league. If he's going to go down, that's serious.
Indeed.
As trainer of the San Diego Sockers, Paul Savage, comes out onto the turf, and the officials are going to blow the whistle. That's going to send us to immediate timeout here, folks. 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Empire Strykers leading the San Diego Sockers by a score of 4-3. So much action in this game already. So much action to still be had. We'll see you on the other side of this media timeout.
We would like to thank our official hotel sponsor, Ontario Airport Hotel and Convenience Conference Center, a Hyatt affiliate hotel, conveniently located just 2 miles from the Ontario International Airport and 4 miles from the Ontario Convention Center. Join the Hope Through Housing Foundation in empowering children and families in the Inland Empire and beyond through after-school programs and financial coaching. To learn more and see how Hope is making a difference, visit hopethroughhousing.org.
Welcome back, folks, watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV, Fox Soccer Plus, and you're watching KVCR San Bernardino Riverside. Ali Somo with an opportunity. That one comes off of Cardenas. Somo, oh so close to doing something that the Strykers haven't done against the Sockers today, and that's go up by 2. Cardenas elevates that high into the air. It was Mendez and Hernandez battling, but that one's going to come off of Orozco into San Diego's bench. As we went into the media timeout, Taylor Walter Bond came off of the turf, attended to by, at this point, the most famous trainer in the Major Arena Soccer League, Paul Savage. And Taylor Walter Bond on the bench right now. Savage still talking to him. Losing a player of the talent level of Walter Bond could be another problematic scenario for San Diego.
When it rains, it pours sometimes, and looks like looks like Savage is applying some sort of split cast almost, or split tip cast, whatever. But definitely getting treatment. That's a big loss because Taylor's been playing very, very well.
Pereira battling, and look at Dutra making the play. Backheels it, trying to find Lawal. And looked like he had his hands on the turf, somehow brought himself back up. Alami, Lawal still has it, and that's going to be a foul going against Judas.
San Diego's going to ask, they want to look at that. Now, again, you brought up a great point earlier, Philly. If this looks back and it's an elbow to the head, that's a blue, and that's close, huh?
We haven't, believe it or not, in a contest between two teams that there's no love lost between the Sockers and the Strykers. We haven't seen any blue cards in this game. For those wondering what a blue card is, 2-minute penalty and a power play given to a team similar to how you would see that in hockey. Once we see that in this game, we'll obviously give you some more information on that, but pretty clean game otherwise officiated by these officials.
Yeah, that was just a common foul. I don't want to, misinterpret or misrepresent that. I thought maybe the elbow came out, but looking at it, it was just straight up. Whoa.
Costa to Pereira. What an exquisite goal that would have been. Costa, just an incredible player and an incredible playmaker. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, recently having come back to San Diego from Brazil, where he played with the United States team, the Kings League. The pass into Mendez. Mendez thus far the player of the game with 2 goals in this contest. Perez makes the defensive play, and that one's going to go out of play.
Saw that target that, Costa's shot pass to Nick Pereira there inside the box. I think, last game, the Sockers were very effective at playing the target's feet and created some problems, which has caused the Strykers to defend differently. But you might see more of that, though, playing into those big targets' feet as opposed to just dumping it into the edges and winning it there. That kind of plays into Palmer's strengths when they do it anyway.
There's a foul assessed to Stinson on Costa, and entering the game, Anthony Powell. Powell went out in the first half, walking off the turf gingerly. Good sign that he's back into this game, this tightly contested game, might I add. Reyes has had a sensational rookie start to his campaign. Fired, kick save. Orozco denying De Oliveira. And there's Powell. Powell advances it over to Chavez. Chavez gets muscled off of the ball by Leo. tries to find Ruggles, and Diaz is there to intercept, but Captain Craig Childs is in the way, and another whistle blown on the turf. Restart going real quickly to Empire.
And Ruggles get a little tug pull on Walter there.
Stinson over to Orozco. Orozco goes into that left side, and that one's going to come off the netting. And folks, you're tuning in and catching this beautiful sport of indoor soccer, and you want more information, head on over to MASLsoccer.com, which is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Perez over to Ali Somo. Into Fabian. I mentioned Fabian with an Olympic gold medal in the 2012 games.
So a little extension here from Ruggles. Just isolation coming over for the double to help.
Somo blasts it. That one deflects right off of Jose Gonzalez. Somo over to Orozco. Orozco chips it in, trying to find an open Mansouri, who's got Pacheco marking him. Mansouri tried to look for Fabian, taken away by Leo de Oliveira. As he gets by and advances it over to Mendez, Orozco's going to come out of his box. That one gets by, and dangerously, might I add. That one takes the deflection off of two players near the box. Isak, had he gotten that spin, gotten to Ruggles, he would have had a one-on-one opportunity there against Pardo. Fabian was in there. The pass advanced into Pacheco. Pacheco fires it, and that one just comes above the crossbar. I believe Orozco did get his mittens right over it.
He, in fact, got the touch, Philly. That was a great save.
When all heck's breaking loose, he'll be riding the eye of the storm. Brian Orozco with that touch. Excellent goalkeeper. Plays with the Guatemalan national futsal team. Featured with the youth team of Guatemalan Giants, Comunicaciones, one of the biggest clubs and most successful in Guatemala, a team that would normally feature in the CONCACAF Champions Cup in the outdoor game. Brian Orozco has excelled outdoors, indoors, and futsal. Off the wall, Pereira, the intended recipient, Lowell. Errant pass, taken away by Costa. Costa into Ortega. Look at the defense by Lowell. Lowell playing a couple of seasons in the Major Arena Soccer League. Won a state title in high school, by the way, as that one comes off of Cardenas's foot. Had a bit too much mustard behind it, a little too nuclear as it goes right into the net. Goalkeeper restart for Empire with under 3 minutes to go. Palmer. And look at the defense. Credit Estrella for trying to cause chaos. Orozco over to Diaz.
Yeah, the defensive runners are putting in the work for the Sockers. That's for sure, trying to change it up, or change up that tempo a little bit and press the goalkeeper coming forward for sure.
Estrella out of La Jolla High School. Played UPSL with Eastlake Soccer. Another one of those awesome rookie talents that San Diego possesses. Estrella, as well as Reyes. Adrian Reyes.
I'm sure Pardo would like us to point out the fact that he was very quick there to get that ball played in.
Palmer, the captain of this Empire Strykers team, recently celebrated a career milestone, over 400 career blocks. Palmer has really been contributing offensively as well. Assists, one of the best defenders in this league. A multi-time defender of the year in the Major Arena Soccer League. And listen, it doesn't get any better than Robert Palmer when it comes to things defensively. Isak was looking for Walter Diaz, but I believe he telegraphs that one. As San Diego makes a great defensive play. Hernandez over to Stinson. Stinson, and that one is kick saved. The Stinger already with 1 goal today.
Justin's really spot on in his recognition on the doubles, and he's taken that chance. It's the second time that the Sockers were late to get over. You can see there Mendez was tighter, and he goes and he's taking his chances. That's good news for the Strikers, not so good news for the Sockers if they don't tighten that up.
Diaz tried to thread it through. Mendez makes the play. Somo over to Powell. Powell fires it. Just too strong, too aggressively. El Leon takes too big of a bite of the apple as that one goes into the net. Goalkeeper restart by Pardo. 75, actually a minute 15 seconds left. Just thinking about my math, and I didn't want to incorrectly math my math. That one takes a bounce, headed out by Somo. And that one's going to go into the Strykers bench. Now I could math my math. 63 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. It's funny sometimes when this game goes by as quickly as it does, you start to second guess however many ticks of the clock there are, as Ruggles bashes that one into the netting. With 62 seconds remaining, it's going to be a goalkeeper restart for the Empire. Orozco rolls it in to Alan Perez. Perez over to Steven Chavez. Under a minute remaining. Chavez using the boards to his favor as an extra teammate. Fighting his way, dispossessed by Costa. Fabian making the defensive stop. He had Mansoret wide open momentarily on the right side. Strykers are going to restart things. Approaching that 30-second mark. Can the Strykers do something they haven't done all evening? And that's take a 2-goal lead. Somo with a goal to his credit today into Fabian. Marco the Magnificent, a winner of the Deutsche Pokal Trophy with Eintracht Frankfurt, goes in off the wall to Mansoret. Mansoret out of England spins past Ruggles. Sandwiched in that wall, somehow keeps it in play. 3 seconds left. The Strykers can't get a clean look at goal, and we're going to attribute that to the successful defending of the San Diego Sockers, preventing Empire from getting... And San Diego has had Empire's number historically. Again, as a reminder, 60th edition of the SoCal Showdown. History in favor of San Diego. They are 49-10 against the Strykers. Strykers absolutely need to get a win in regulation to make themselves relevant for the postseason. Only the top 6 teams in the MASL get to compete in the April Classic, if you will. And Empire, with their 3-6 record, absolutely need all the points they can. Orozco dangerously coming outside of the box, and he belts that one back to Guatemala. Coming out of his box, though, making a great defensive play.
That was a spectacular play, because if that ball leaks through, I think Sockers had an opportunity to go straight to goal.
Mendez already with 2 goals, eyeing a hat trick to Pacheco. Pacheco puts on the brakes and puts Somo on skates. Kicks it back over to Costa. Costa to Cardenas. If we do know anything about the Sockers, is they're a resilient team. Calm, cool, collective, the composure between the veterans and now the rookies that we see on here. Costa fires it, and he just is off as that one goes wide right. Ricochets over it to Mendez. Mendez back over to Cardenas. Cardenas finds Pereira. Pereira has it poked away as Palmer advances it. Alami advances. Cardenas headed out by Palmer. Palmer's header. That one's too aggressive.
You see Pardo just fronting Nick Pereira, just again jumping that past and just challenging them to find that target play.
Stinson gets a touch on it. Stinson fires it, just misses to the right. And coming out of the gates, Empire red hot. Since 2022, Stinson has 27 points in 24 games against the San Diego Sockers. 21 goals and 6 assists, including 2 points tonight. Can the Stinger continue to maintain this torrid pace? They absolutely need him. That one is loose. Shot fired. Goal by the rookie, Adrian Reyes, for the 5th time this season. Threads through the netting, and as it's happened time and time and time, and now time again, San Diego with the equalizer. We're knotted up 4-4.
Just, again, Craig Childs, what can you say? I mean, a great finish from Reyes, but look at him. His eyes are up. He knows what he's going to do. That front panel, he knows the angle. He's got 2 players there and just finds the guy's making the proper run, and it's, you know, quite simple finish. Brian had no chance because he's got to jump the stick to account for the entry pass off the board. He's just sitting duck there. Great finish, great sequence. And you saw Childs coming onto the field. Just that intelligent brain, you could just see it emanating from his force.
I didn't have Adrian Reyes on my scouting report starting this season. This rookie has absolutely dazzled. 5 goals this season. An emerging talent in San Diego. And like you said, Phil Salvaggio, absolutely. Phil Salvaggio, the head coach of the San Diego Sockers, likes to utilize his veterans more so than the rookies. But this Adrian Reyes kid's outstanding in the few games that he's played. And obviously losing somebody the likes of Charlie Gonzalez, Cesar Cerda. We talked about how deep San Diego is, but again, Adrian Reyes, what a talent.
We talk it all the time, soccer IQ. As soon as Childs was on the ball, you just saw Reyes framing his run and showing Childs from distance the angle, and Craig knows exactly where the ball is going to go off each part of the wall.
That shot by Pereira goes right to the breadbasket of Orozco, and yes, with the assist from Childs, that's his 4th dime of the season. He's now up to 6 points. Orozco trying to find Powell, taken away by Mendez. Pereira's got a wide open net. That one had the distance, it didn't have the direction. And that's something that the Empire is going to have to be very cognizant of. Time and time again, we've seen goalkeeper outside of the box, only to be beaten late in the game by a resilient San Diego Sockers team. But history has found a funny way of repeating itself today as, again, Empire's scored, taken the lead, and San Diego has come back with the answer. 8 goals thus far in today's contest.
I mean, that's what veteran teams know they need to do. So, I mean, it's battle of wits right now. You know, I still think San Diego could be more effective. They can get that entry pass to be far more successful.
Diaz gets dispossessed.
I'll tell you what, Leo's just defended incredibly well on the edges there, just bodying up and winning the second ball.
Cardenas's shot saved by Orozco. Now Leo's just another incredible talent between facilitating goals for his teammates, finding opportunities himself, obviously defending.
Just his body language is such a competitor. You know, you can just see it when he's going in and, you know, using his frame to win the ball or challenge.
I mean, he's top 4 in MASL history with assists, top 10 in points. Won the Passmaster Award in the 21-22 season. Was an MVP of the 21 finals, where San Diego actually won the championship on this turf against the Empire Strykers, who were then known as the Ontario Fury.
Well, I remember Leo as an Ontario Fury.
That's absolutely correct. In his 11 seasons, though, in the MASL, 8 of them have been with San Diego. And yes, you are right, he did feature for the red and black of the Ontario Fury. Not to mention playing with Brazil in the World Mini Football World Cup. 11:06 remaining, not only in the 4th quarter, but in this contest, and we've had ourselves an indoor classic and another incredible chapter in the SoCal Showdown. Costa with enough space to fire it, punched out by Orozco. Mansoret tried to cleverly get past Mendez, not to be fooled, intercepts the pass, finds Stinson. He's got Chavez as the runner. Mansoret all the way to the left. Stinson's gonna backtrack and reset by going over to Palmer in that midfield. Orozco once again outside of his box. Ali Somo trying to get past multiple Sockers, and he does, but Costa's there intercepting the pass that was intended for Fabian.
I can just imagine what the 2v2 games were in the front yard at home with the neighbors, with those two guys.
The Somo brothers have been a splendid addition to head coach Onuo Obasi. Pacheco almost takes away a dangerous pass from his former teammate Nata Palmer. Fabian over to Alami. Alami's gonna find Fabian. He was open momentarily. The pass wasn't precise enough. Fabian fires it, upper right corner, where my Uncle Franz keeps the good schnapps. Strikers find the back of the net again. Marco Fabian! Say hello, Uncle Franz.
Big players, big moments.
Marco the Magnificent. What are the refs doing, Artie?
Just reviewing the play. Just describing what's going to happen next on whether it's going to be a shootout, a penalty shot, or it's not automatically indoor soccer that's a penalty. And that's going to get him 5 minutes.
So yeah, explain the yellow card, because the yellow card in indoor isn't the same as the yellow card in outdoor.
No, the yellow card is, and it's different from a blue card. So a blue card results in a 2-minute penalty, and the player will serve those 2 minutes and re-enter the field. The yellow card is a 5-minute penalty, and the player will have to sit the entire 5 minutes, but cannot return until the ball is actually on a regular restart. So it could last for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. So that's a very tough foul, you know, for that hand gesture to be official.
And speaking of which, Greg Childs, an opportunity not that far away from finding an equalizer. Anthony Powell is going to head over to the bin of sin.
Yeah, you need a second player in there, because like I said, when the 2 minutes go up, he's going to have to sit for that 5. So.
And so here we are with San Diego. Great opportunity for an equalizer, and no better man to be placed in the situation with the game on the line than Captain King San Diego himself. I know the award for Mr. San Diego goes to baseball legend Tony Gwynn, but I'll have to reserve that statement for Craig Childs here. Can he find another glorious goal in his illustrious career, squaring off against the youngster Brian Orozco? Craig Childs looking for the equalizer. Orozco looking for a big save against the legendary player. Childs fires it, and he scores. Upper right corner, top shelf once again. And as it's gone 5 times, San Diego has found an answer for every Empire Strykers goal. 5-5, huge goal by Childs.
Just Mr. Money stepping up, doing what he does. Just putting it at their top shelf. You know, Brian did his best. And you saw there, Philly, the difference between the PK there versus the shootout. The remaining members of the team are allowed onto the field, and they play live after the shot, versus a shootout, which is where they have 5 seconds to score a goal. The teams have to stay off.
And just what a shot. And that actually wasn't upper corner from our perspective. It looked it, but Childs with the silencer. And it was a howler as far as his attempt, but a silencer in terms of what he's done to the crowd.
He's just money there. I mean, you know, Brian has zero chance. Very little chance. Brian's pretty good. I'll give him some chance. And yeah, just the way he hits it. But again, immediate response. Immediate response from the Sockers.
10 goals thus far with just under 10 remaining. Look at the speed of Mendez, but his effort gets thwarted by Stinson. Mendez recovers it. He doesn't have the numbers. He does have Leo. Wisely retreats to Pacheco. De Oliveira. He's got the dangerous Pereira past that yellow line. Into Pacheco, a clever pass by the former UC Santa Barbara Gaucho and captain of the United States national beach soccer team. Powell gets pulled down to the turf, and that's going to be a foul assessed to San Diego. 9:13 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Palmer with the quick restart to Diaz on the right. Diaz fires it, tries to connect with Alami. Ortega is there. What a difference he's also made.
Just that calm touch right there. Off the boards, little bounce, and just calmly collects it and then plays it out.
Leo.
Got Leo.
And listen, with all the road games that San Diego's had, and they're coming off of a loss 10-5 against Milwaukee, trying to get one up against their SoCal rivals, the Strykers. But their road contest, it's hard to win on the road in any sport, but San Diego has been successful on the road this month, having not played a home game since January the 3rd, looking for a huge win against the Strykers that are looking to get another dub over their arch rivals. Strykers did win the opening game of the season, the home opener against San Diego. First loss for the Sockers in their beautiful brand new arena, Front Wave, in Oceanside. That place has been a fortress. Chavez over to Orozco. Orozco. And it looked like he was trying to connect with Alami, who would have been open far post. But De Oliveira was there. Childs blasts it. That just takes the wrong end off of his foot, and that's going to send us to our final media timeout of the night. 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. The score still 5-5. You've seen 10 goals in this contest. You're gonna see maybe one more, at least one more, to determine the winner. Stick around, still so much more action. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Tonight, we would like to give a special thank you to GoCal, your official destination guide to the inlands. Discover the best of Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, and the surrounding region, from top-tier dining and entertainment to family fun and outdoor adventure. GoCal showcases the best our region has to offer. Whether you're new to the area or looking for something fresh, GoCal has you covered. Discover more at gocal.org.
Thank you, GoCal. You almost missed an impressive bicycle attempt by Abdul Mansoure. Boris Pardo again making a play on it. Craig Childs' goal just seconds after Marco Fabian created the equalizer, and here we are 5-5. Including tonight, Fabian has scored a goal in 6 consecutive games against San Diego. So you want to talk about a thorn in the side of the Sockers? It's been Marco the Magnificent for quite some time. Can Marco and the Strykers find that magic? Strikers have given up the lead 5 times. San Diego has found an answer, battling, trying to bash it off of the wall was Estrella. And once again, Orozco is there to deny the opportunity. Costa heads that over to Somo. Somo not going to be muscled off of the ball by Gabriel. Fabian to Chavez. Chavez over to Perez. Alan Perez out of Van Nuys, California, passes it into Fabian. Fabian has Diaz to the left. Diaz tried to go back to Marco. Ruggles makes the play. Fabian comes back up with it here. And the Strykers are going to have another chance here. Again, a brilliant game. It's going to go down as a classic in this rivalry. Look at the defensive effort. Excellent defending by San Diego. Pacheco making a heck of a play. I'm sorry, not Pacheco. Jose Gonzalez. And he makes another great play. And look at the slide in by Chavez. Oh. Powell hits the deck. Fabian with space. Fabian and Pardo with the save. But Anthony Powell still on the deck. He gets back up. Anthony Powell's taking quite a beating today.
Yeah, immediately Coach Obasi pulled out the challenge flag as soon as he got kicked there.
He had a conversation momentarily with official Servando Berna, and they're going to go back to assess what happened. Artie, you had a better angle than I did. Talk to us about what just transpired.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure which soccer players came through, but as Ant came through the ball, just a follow-through, he looked like he got a little teacup kick to the gut. But I mean, Coach Obasi had the red flag before even Fabian took the shot. And then, of course, Pardo got a little excited when it didn't happen as soon as it was thrown.
I mean, with under 6 minutes to go, you have that challenge flag. You see the opportunity to throw it. You throw it. Let's take a look at that play again.
So, you know, Costa leaves his feet, makes contact with the bottom of his foot in his midsection. I would venture to guess that's most definitely going to be a blue.
There we see
He elevates, misses the ball, and it just catches him.
And look, credit to our broadcasting production crew. The camera angles there. Incredible angle here. We have a great crew and some great camera angles to see these replays time and time again. And Coach Artie, I'm gonna ask you as the X's and O's man. What are you saying with this one?
I mean, to be fair, he didn't hit him with the bottom of his foot and push through, but at the end of the day, he leaves his feet and makes contact with his foot above the waist. I mean, that's got to be a blue. I can't see this going any other way.
And look, Powell's a big, tough kid from Texas. The stars at night are always big and bright with LAO, and he's not going to go down and try to embellish anything. If he goes down, he's going to go down because it was
it's not
warranted.
It's not dirty, Phil. I mean, you can see,
not at all.
You can see Costa kind of recoiling and bringing it back, not for the strike, but at the end of the day, it's a video game jumping kick to the midsection. So I just can't envision this going. And I'm not sure why they're looking at it for so long.
So, I mean, Anthony Powell and Costa have something in common, is the fact that they both spent time in Texas. Anthony Powell from Fort Worth. Gabriel Costa played 3 years in Dallas for the Southern Methodist University Mustangs. So we're just waiting on this call right here. Big opportunity if the call goes in favor of the Empire Strykers. 5:57 remaining. And it's 5-5, moments away from finding out what the scenario is. And I think we're being told that the call may stand. Let's just wait and hear from the officials down on the turf. And it's Servando Berno who's going to give us the 411, aka the info.
Unsuccessful challenge by Empire. The call on the field stands. There was a foul, but there was an advantage, and the foul was careless, not reckless, for a blue card. So the restart is going to be corner kick.
Well, there you go, Philly. That's why officials and I don't agree very regularly. But I mean, wow, great opportunity for the Sockers. Fantastic opportunity for the Sockers. You know, Strikers feel a little undone here with that call, I think. But it is what it is, and play on.
Strikers have been successful off a corner kick restart, and particularly in the first half. It's Palmer on that restart. And that one, not sure if it was intended for either Alami or Diaz, but either way, played up. Stinson back over to Diaz. Diaz over to Stinson. Stinson with some space. Stinson's going to let one rip, and that comes off of Ortega. Another restart for the Strikers in their attacking end of the field. Palmer is going to quarterback the restart here. He's got Diaz up top, and keep your eyes open for Brian Orozco. Orozco's going to come towards the midfield now. Stinson operating across the turf into Diaz. Diaz closed down by Mendez, finds the space. Diaz, Walter Diaz, what a goal! Might be the goal of his short indoor career. And just like that, the Strikers take the lead, take a bow. What a goal, Walter. 6-5 Empire.
You think I'm all left foot, do you? Oh boy, did he show him different. Just look at the way he moved. I mean, just created that line. So here he goes. You know, you're thinking he's going to go left. Whoop, pull it. There it is. What a great finish. Just that swoop pull. Gotta love it. Just the confidence this young man has now. Look what it does. Just a pull. Whoop. I mean, Mendez was just jumping on that left peg and just got dipped.
Mendez took the bait, and Walter made him pay. His second goal of the game, taken away, though, by Mendez, who will now, along with Diaz, both have 2 goals, the players of the game for both sides. 6-5 in favor of Empire. De Oliveira trying to get past the wall. And speaking of wall, a wall play by Brian Orozco as he denies Leo.
Sockers are in trouble. They've got a light bench right now. Taylor Walter Bond is out. We haven't seen Morales in a while. I don't even see him on the bench anymore. You know, he was down on his knees earlier in the game. So, I mean, they're even more players in quality, that, especially on the top end, that are out. So it's an uphill battle here for the Sockers, the last 4:44.
Yeah, great observation about Morales. Morales, just an offensive juggernaut here in his young career. Having an impact today as Somo goes to his left to Mansouri. Mansouri punched out of danger by Pardo. Pardo with another exquisite save. Palmer goes back to his keeper, Orozco. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this contest. It's been an exciting game of indoor soccer, and for those of you joining on KVCR as well as Fox Soccer Plus, heck of a game for you to tune into. This is your first experience. The pass into Mendez from Ortega. Back over to Pee-wee. Pee-wee over to Childs, the header.
Oh.
And what a play. But we're going to have to see exactly what happened. I'm not sure if Palmer got his hand on it. There was some drama down on the line.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I saw a handball on with Pardo. Pardo kind of dove forward and fell on the ball. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it certainly looked like it hit him.
Pee-wee in his 11th year in the MASL, was hurt last year, only played in 9 games, but in those 9 games, 4 goals and 3 assists. I mean, over his career, 40 goals, 57 assists, and, well, just now a couple points shy of 100 in his career. There we see a replay, an even closer angle, and again, shout out to our production crew. The crowd is roaring tonight here in Toyota Arena, as the officials are actually looking at the Jumbotron.
It's crazy.
It's just a credit to our staff. All right, here we go. The officials' final confirmation.
After review, the field player does not make contact with the ball with his arm. The goalkeeper does. Therefore, the call on the field is overturned. There is no penalty. There is no penalty kick, and the restart will be to Empire goalkeeper possession.
That's two. I'm on a roll. 2 in a row.
So for those that didn't hear it, that is no blue card. Palmer didn't get his hands on it. It was a Roscoe, and the Strykers avoid what could have been a calamitous situation right here. Under 4 to go. Palmer back out onto the turf as he's still having a little dialogue with official Servando Berna. But again, shout out to our production crew for giving us the angles that they did. Had it not been for all these cameras and all the great equipment we have in this facility, that would not have been definitive, and that could have gone in favor of San Diego very easily. Could have just gotten them back in this game, as they've done time and time again, as that was inches away from being what we call a superstructure violation by hitting the Jumbotron. Costa. 3:40 remaining here. I'd love to see, my iWatch is done here. I'd love to know what my heartbeat and my beats per minute are, because this has been a heck of a match.
Told you it's going to be a fourth quarter. It's definitely a great fourth quarter.
So timeout down on the turf. Artie, what we got?
Strykers fans, don't miss out on the Seasons Collector's Strykers Passport. You can purchase your passport online and start collecting stamps and autographs. Don't wait. Get your Collector Strykers Passport today.
So we just saw a yellow card distributed on the turf in the direction of the San Diego Sockers bench. As Mitchell Cardenas is having a conversation with Servando Berna.
So like Pacheco, or is Pacheco serving for somebody?
So with that yellow card, Pacheco's heading to the bench now with the yellow card.
5-minute dissent.
Yeah, so that's a call. Dissent issued to Pacheco. So he's going to be in the box for 5 minutes. Obviously, that's neither here nor there unless we go into overtime. But no man advantage for Empire Strykers. But Pacheco now can't play for the next 5 minutes. And look, Pacheco, an important piece to San Diego.
I mean, any piece that they're missing now with the depleted roster from the start of the game, you know, is tough. That means guys got to run extra shifts, or he's got to move players to cover different lines. You know, they're a little thin in the back as it is already. So. It's a tall order for San Diego, but you know, they're veterans, they're champions, they're going to come back, they're going to battle. There's going to be an exciting finish to this game, and I'm sure the Strykers are being told that right now. You know, you gotta put this game away.
Strykers desperately looking for a win in regulation. So it appears as if Drew Ruggles is going to put on the extra attacker jersey. Boris Pardo is on the bench. So what that means is, just like hockey, the Sockers are going to pull the keeper and add an extra attacker for a man advantage. And if we look at just how the Sockers have been, let's just assume power play-esque. They've only been 17% with the man advantage this season. So no better opportunity than now to capitalize on that when you have the extra numbers here with 3:32 remaining in the ball game.
Well, I mean, you've got two different atmospheres here going on. You know, you've got a very athletic, physical Strykers team that's going to press and wants to put the game away. And then you've got, you know, both Pereira and Childs on, and just an ill-advised three-line ball there.
And explain the three-line ball real quick to our viewers at home.
Three-line pass is you cannot pass from one attacking space to the other. So if the ball crosses over both yellow lines, then it comes back to a free kick to the defending group. So you saw here the long ball over the top was underneath the yellow, went beyond the attacking yellow. So now it's a free kick. So they had to bring Boris Pardo back on, because you don't want Ruggles playing goalkeeper for this.
And Palmer is going to opt for a timeout here with 3:24 remaining. Coach, you've been in these situations on a multitude of occasions. If it's you with the clipboard, what are you drawing up for these Strykers?
Precarious situation for the Sockers.
The last thing they want to do, though, Empire, that is to find themselves in a position where Orozco is out of position and San Diego creates an equalizer on an empty net.
So they're just looking to milk the game, keep Pardo in the game.
And the longer Pardo stays on the turf, the more the advantage favors Empire. Here's this opportunity, and there's Walter Diaz successfully achieving a milestone, a hat trick in this game. Walter scores again. Empire go up by 2.
Again, just finishing the game the way they started the game, moving the ball, finding the correct guy, finding the open guy to put it home, and just a quality finish. Just sharing the ball. Sharing is caring, and you know, passing the ball unites a team, and just guys are moving. Look at this. Boop. There it is.
Not only is that Walter Diaz's 3rd goal, but that's his 4th point as he contributed on the goal that Justin Stinson scored. So Diaz is up to 4 points. 3 minutes remaining right now. Strykers with a 2-goal lead, something that we have not said all day long. Ruggles back on the turf with the extra attacker jersey.
Well, the run of play goal was kind of similar to what I said for the free kick that I would have, you know, thought they would go at, but worked out great for them. And now they just got to stay behind the ball and not allow San Diego to get into the B boards and do what they do off the board.
You kind of have to look back at that unfortunate bounce of a goal that Sebastian, for Empire that is, Mendez's goal that bounced off of Palmer. Looking at a completely different game had that not taken the bounce that it did, but for the first time tonight, Strykers have a 2-goal lead against a very dangerous San Diego team. Approaching the 2-minute mark, De Oliveira goes back over to his Brazilian compadre in that Acosta to Childs.
Look how compact they are, Philly. There's just no line to have a chance to frame.
Trying to find Ruggles in the box, and there's Berto with a Berto bomb of a block. Under 2 remaining. Costa tries to find Pereira on that far end. The Iberian brick house under duress with Felipe Dutra off the wall, and there's Berto again, once again making a play. Perez tried to advance it up. Dutra into that corner. That comes off, and that's going to get elevated into the air. Approaching the 92nd mark.
They got to go.
The pass into Mendez. Mendez back over to Costa. They find Childs, and Childs just gets the wrong end of his boot on that ball. Chavez gets his pocket picked. Numbers favor San Diego, and there's Dutra making an incredible play. San Diego for a moment had some space to run, but Felipe Dutra, Fortress Felipe making the play. Pass into Childs. Captain San Diego goes that far post. And that was Pereira. He still has it. Childs wide open, was calling for it. The back heel into Costa, 60 seconds remaining. Back over to Mendez. Mendez trying to find his hat trick off of Mansoray, and Mansoray chirping away at Mendez. 56.4 seconds remaining. Zombie Nation is blaring on the loudspeakers. This crowd is intense. The atmosphere is wild. You can cut through the tension with a buzzsaw. Pereira to Costa. Costa, another great defensive play by the Empire as Perez and Mansoray get in the way. 54.4 seconds. Corner kick restart. Pereira has Childs in the box. Mendez on the top of the arc. Pereira weighing his options. De Oliveira. Leo fires it, bashes it off the wall. It's going to take a bounce into Costa. 45 seconds remaining. Mendez off the wall to Costa. Gabriel Taleo. The Brazilian Bonanza's finding Ruggles, but there's Berto with another great play. Perez with the defensive play. Can he get it to Mansoray? He's got Chavez. Chavez with space to Bert. Steven Chavez with the nail in the coffin. Buries San Diego with 26.2 seconds. Strykers go up by 3.
What a quality end of the game. Just finishing, making them pay. Just buzzing. They were just buzzing defensively, and they've been doing that the entire game. And then once they win the ball, they just scramble to go forward. Just here. Allen, just working. Leo, tries to go for the nutmeg on the pull, and that's it. Just find the free guy running, going after the mascot there.
Steven Chavez with the space and the proverbial nail in the coffin. This is going on. This is going to be the second win for the Empire against San Diego this season. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the last time the Strykers have beaten the Sockers twice in a season. Giles bashes it off the wall. Somo to Polo. Polo to Berto. Berto back to Polo. 7 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. More space. Do we have another one? Yes, we do. Marco found his Polo and finds another goal for the Empire Strykers with 9/10 of a second. The Empire going to successfully defeat San Diego in what is a rare occasion here in Toyota Arena. Total team performance. What a goal by Paulo Hernandez.
They came to play tonight, Philly. They came to play and put it together very well. All from their defensive work. Just quality, just buzzing all game long. Just buzzing. You know, the outdoor game, you know, we call it hunting, and they went hunting, that's for sure.
Nick Pereira puts it into play, and there's the final horn. The Empire have just registered their 4th win of the season. A huge statement win against a depleted San Diego soccer squad, albeit still a very talented San Diego soccer squad. 9-5 your final score.